I don't believe this. Came in off the tree and just look at this. Well, that is unbelievable. I haven't seen that in such a long time.
All right, everybody, welcome to Bogey or Better podcast. My name is Dylan, and very excited to bring this podcast to you. It's a brand new podcast, and it's been definitely years into the making. And I want to introduce you to my co-host and partner in golf, Cam.
Hello.
Just want to kind of introduce ourselves first, just to show everybody, what we're about. We are not professional golfers in the slightest.
Definitely not.
Sometimes we think we are, but we definitely aren't. As soon as we swing, we come back to reality about that. We've both been playing golf for, since we were kids, pretty much, and obsessed with it. Love golf, and we were both thinking about creating a podcast, and when Cam kind of brought the idea to me about doing a golf podcast, I started looking at all the golf podcasts out there because I don't really listen to any golf podcasts. I listened to Hank Haney's a few times, but that's about it. And every single golf podcast I looked at, it's all professionals. Like, it's either Golf Channel, PGA Network, anything like that. I don't see many amateur, run-of-the-mill golfers discussing current events about golf or, anything like that. So I think we maybe have something here. So we're excited to bring that to you. Cam, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, I feel the same way. I think I've listened to a Golf Smarter podcast, which I enjoyed, and it was a lot of tips and a lot of professionals. The host was, a little bit better than we are, but it was definitely more tailored, I think, to a serious golfer that was really trying to improve their game, or somebody that was on the cusp of becoming like a scratch golfer. And I think it's just fun to, you're on the course, you like talking with your buddies about good shots, awful shots, and, a beer or two on the course. So I think this is where we wanted to be. And I know for me, I've got family videos of me as a kid in diapers and a pacifier with a 9-iron in my hand. So it was definitely something that I enjoyed as a kid a lot. And just growing up, just never, I maybe had a couple set of lessons as a kid, but it was never something I did like over, years. It was maybe one summer I took like lessons or something like that. So it was just something I just played and, without lessons, you don't tend to get that much better. So I just tend to play and hack around. But because of what's been going on and the quarantine and not being able to do certain things, I think the golf game itself has really grown in some popularity, because I think a lot of people like us that played once a month, maybe, most of the time less than that, are now playing, I play once or twice a week now, because that's just really all that we were able to do. And it's opening up now, but in the beginning, that's really all that we could do. And it was the summertime. Golf was kind of the only sport on TV too. So it's definitely gained some popularity. And I know for me, it's really like I've caught that bug. And really that's just what we're trying to do with this podcast, is just talk about it, what we love about it, what we hate about it, which is not much. And but I know you have a little bit of a different upbringing with golf. So why don't you share that?
Yeah, I definitely didn't start super young, but there are videos of me probably throwing a ball at like 2 years old. My dad got me into sports really quickly, and so I've always had a natural ability to pick up sports. I'm not an athlete in any way, just have good coordination, I guess. That's about it.
That's what it's about.
Yeah, so I remember watching the Golf Channel and watching Tiger Woods as a kid. My dad liked to watch golf. So I always liked to watch it, but I probably started playing probably about 12 or 13. And I instantly loved it. And I was terrible, obviously, but it was a lot of fun. I love being able to spend time with your buddies, and that's where it started, basically. And we have friends who throw tournaments a little bit here and there, like rinky-dink little tournaments, and that was always fun. But I just kept playing. I didn't really. I had a couple lessons. I actually joined a golf group locally here where we live in Columbia, South Carolina. And I joined a golf group, and we played a few tournaments against the junior highs and high schools. So I got a few lessons there. But besides that, pretty much all self-taught and just kind of mimic what other people do on the tour and on TV, and just kind of mirror them. The ball doesn't go the same direction as them, but it's all right. We're getting there. But I had to take I'm just coming back to golf now. I've taken probably a 6 to 8 month break. I destroyed my back and had to have surgery and rehab. So I'm just getting back now, feeling comfortable and confident enough to swing a club, and the obsession is still there. So I'm excited to get back to playing. And so that's a couple things we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about, the way we play, and our growth in the game. And we'll share some tips and pointers that, really only average Joe golfers are coming across.
Yeah.
And we're going to help you guys out there. And, maybe eventually we'll have enough listeners to where y'all can help us out and send us tips and stuff like that. And we'll exchange tips and experiences. And we're also going to talk about current events in golf and what's going on the tour. And it's exciting. It's pretty good timing when we started this podcast. We're right in the middle of the FedEx Cup playoffs.
Yeah.
The first round of the BMW is going on right now. And let me tell you, that course, I forget the name of it, but in Chicago or in Illinois.
Yeah. I was just looking it up.
Extremely tough.
And I play it on PGA Tour 2K21, so obviously I know what I'm talking about. And it is extremely difficult. And I know we'll get into, all kinds of stuff. Like I have it on literally right here, and the leader is -2. That's it.
Yeah, that's been like all day.
All day. And I think it's fun to watch because, Dustin Johnson shot -30 and, last week, and that's, goals. But no, like I read something earlier. It was like he shot -30 last week, and most people haven't shot 30 birdies in their life.
Yeah, I saw
and he did it in a weekend. But sometimes I enjoy watching it
because that's true. But
it is. It was a good burn, but it's nice to see some of these other tournaments where, you got Tiger. I think he's at 2 over right now. I saw Bubba just finished at 2 over. I mean, they do this for a living, and they'll still shoot. They'll still shoot in the positive numbers. Of course, that's a super difficult course, but I think it just shows that, golf is an up and down game. I've had fantastic rounds, and then 2 days later, I'll go out and, shoot almost, 89, 90. And, I normally like to shoot 80 to 85. That's about where I'm at. I've had a couple 70 rounds, and honestly, this is what kind of influenced us in doing the podcast, is because once this started, I was shooting in the high 90s, mid 90s, but just from playing, twice a week, watching golf, watching videos. I subscribe to Golf Digest. They're online, like schools and stuff. And just by doing that, and playing, just consistently playing, I've gotten 10 strokes down. Now when you're playing 18 holes, that's less than 1 stroke a hole. It doesn't seem like that much, but when you just play a little smarter, you'll save a stroke every other hole, by just like not topping the ball and just wasting a shot. Even if it's it's short or long or a cut or a hook, by not topping it and actually getting some distance, those little things add up, and you start really, because once you shoot better scores, you really just enjoy golf more. And I know that firsthand. Yeah. But we're in a little bit of different boats, like you said, because you're just coming back to playing. So, and you're going to have a newer swing. So it'll be fun to see as we continue to play the differences in that.
Yeah, because, before my surgery, I mean, we were both long hitters. Mm-hmm. But I have definitely probably lost, I'd say, probably like 50 yards, maybe a little more off of my driver.
Yeah.
Irons aren't too noticeably bad or too noticeably less than what they used to be, but yeah, off the tee has definitely suffered significantly. But I still have always had a pretty good relationship with my driver, so I'm still putting it in the fairway most of the time.
Even now, I mean, I've played with you since then, and it's just that little pull draw, like it's got a lot of spin on it, but I mean, it's fairway finder, and can't argue with that. And that's where I have most of my issues, is off the tee. Right. I'm actually a firm believer in not using the driver.
Yeah.
I'll pull a 3-wood out. I have this super old 4 hybrid. It's a Nicholas club, so it's good. And I hit that off the tee 95% of the time. And if I can, I'll hit that 250. But I try to put like the margin of error of hitting a driver. Yeah, I can tag it 310 if I hit it squarely. But 7 times out of 10, that face is going to be wide open, and it's going severely right. So, I like to play just where I'm at. I rarely pull the driver, and it's just sometimes like just making little changes like that, like just don't touch the driver for the day. You may end up shooting a lower score. And I've played the courses that we like to play down here. They're shorter, so you have that advantage. You don't have to pull a driver. But I'll hit a 5-iron off the tee, and say it's a 400-yard hole. That's a long par 4 down here. So let's say it's like 376 or something. Hit a 5-iron 210. And then you're 160 away. So a 9-iron, 8-iron. And then you're on the green in 2, and that's another, like, that's where I suck as well, is putting.
I feel you on that one.
It's the 2, I think, highest feel parts of golf is the driver and the short game. Well, my chipping is very good, but it's my putting. And because the driver, small differences can cause drastic changes. Same thing that goes with putting. So those are the two Achilles heels. Those are the two problems in my game. And so that's why, like, I don't pull a driver. So I limit that problem right there. I have to putt. There's nothing I can do about it. So, I went and found a putter that helped with the mistakes that I make. And we'll talk about that in future episodes. Like what's in our bags, the reason that we play and things like that. But I think what we really want to do with this podcast is just to, talk about golf and, I hope you guys enjoy and listen. I mean, we're going to talk about golf regardless, whether it's just between us two or on this podcast. So figured we'd give it a shot.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I feel you on the putting. Putting is something I'm trying to figure out. Off the tee, I've always been pretty confident off the tee. And I just bought a new driver. I just bought a TaylorMade M6 driver.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to play Saturday, so I'm excited to see how that's going to play on the course.
Yeah.
I went to the driving range with it, but those crappy driving range balls, it doesn't give me the best feedback.
No.
But, and my iron play, I'm really happy with how consistent my iron play has stayed.
Mm-hmm.
I think it might be because I'm taking a shorter backswing.
Yeah.
Because of my back, but it's still going the distance I need it to. And my chipping has just always been probably the most inconsistent part of my game.
Mm-hmm.
Either I'm on it or it is like I have never hit a golf ball before.
Yeah.
So
that's a huge feel part of the game. Similar with putting, like, if you go an inch longer in your backswing for your putter, that's a lot more distance. Similar with chipping, like, there's so many different variables to think about. It's like if it's fluffy and it's in some deep rough, you're not going to get a lick of spin. You're not going to get anything. But if it's really, really like just packed down stuff, when I'm chipping and it's really like just dry and not, doesn't lend itself to chipping, I usually thin it. I hit it with the bottom of the club basically because I'm worried about just that club hitting the ground early and bouncing up and hitting it thin. So I try to meet the middle and I still hit it thin. So it doesn't really help me. But I've tried taking a pitching wedge on a couple holes and chipping with that. Because, I was reading just like, how we amateurs tend to make it harder on ourselves because we play the club we think we need to play.
Yeah.
Or like, like I like to say my 5-iron goes like 200, 210, but that's more like perfect stance, maybe even a tee on the ball. It's like, but most of the time I need to pull like a longer club to hit that 200-yard mark,
right.
Especially like from the fairway. And then I don't have to swing so hard and try and get it there. So the same thing goes with chipping. It's, we tend to make it harder on ourselves. A buddy of mine that I was playing with a lot, he was hitting with a 58 degree, chipping with a 58 degree. And I tend to use that too. But I've been able to control it, get it to stop where I want it and stuff like that. But he stopped playing golf for a while. And then, because of everything, he started back up and could not chip, just like most people that stopped. But he was set on using that 58 degree. Didn't even think about changing. So when we were playing, I told him, why don't you just pull your pitching wedge out and just try it? Because he's a fantastic putter. And when you use a pitching wedge or even a 9-iron to chip, you're basically putting the ball because you're getting no loft, but all that rollout. So he switched to that and turned into a fantastic, around the green player because he was chipping basically like he was putting because he had all that rollout. So he would read the green and then just pitch it up there with that wedge. So, I've started to do that with certain holes that don't lend itself to chipping. Just throw a little wedge, a pitching wedge or a 9-iron and just let it roll up there. It makes it so much easier.
Yeah. So as you can see, guys, we will never run out of things to talk about in golf.
Never.
Might as well record it and share it with you guys. And hopefully we will grow as golfers and y'all will too. And we're excited to get on this journey with you guys and keep talking about golf and why we love it, why it kills us, and everything in between. So we're going to have an episode every week, and we will talk about everything from, putting to driving and stupid mistakes and decisions that amateurs make that make our lives harder, like Cameron was saying.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, we're really excited to do this, and we can't wait to, dive a little bit deeper into golf and talk with you guys. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think we were talking about we'll try and expect these podcasts on Mondays. And Dylan and I are going to play around on Saturday, so we'll definitely have a lot of things to tell you. And then we'll kind of go over the BMW Championship, what we see out there, and what that means for the FedEx Cup. And
any predictions for the BMW Championship?
I'm looking. It's so close, so I'm just going with I'd love to see DJ win again. I mean, he's from here, so it's a little biased, but I love when he is on. It is so enjoyable to watch. It's like watching. It's not as good, but it's like watching young Tiger. Yeah. I was young too, but I remember watching him play, and it was just unfair for everybody else. So watch it. I would like to see DJ win. I also really want Tony Finau to win. I love his swing. He's become a very underrated driver. I've watched some of his range sessions, and he hits it just as far as Bryson does, with a very shorter backswing, which I think is quite impressive and something to emulate. But yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing Tony Finau take it home. How about you?
Yeah, I was really excited about how Justin Thomas was playing, but I just checked the score and he's at +3 now.
Yeah,
but I would think with the greens the way they are, which usually a lot of courses on TV you can't tell how windy the greens are. You can see the slopes on the TV here.
And they're so fast.
Yeah. And I was thinking maybe if Justin Thomas got a hot putter, he could go for it. I really also like I can't remember his name. I was just thinking about him the other today.
Is he new?
No, I don't think so.
Well, while you look at that, you got
it? Victor Hovland.
Yeah, he was leading earlier.
Yeah, and his swing gives me anxiety attacks. It is insane.
Is it like Matt Wolf's? No, is it like Matt Wolf's swing or is it different?
He does his full rotation, and then he starts to drop his shoulder, but he stops and comes back and then swings.
Really?
It's like I don't know. It's like a twitch almost. Like he starts to drop and then he hesitates and comes back and then he swings. It is frightening to look at.
So it's like the opposite of Matt Wolf's swing,
right?
Where he does that. He does the impact position and then baseball swings it.
Yeah.
I'll have to look that up. I didn't know that, but I know he was leading earlier, so I'm sure we'll see more of him.
Yeah, I think he's tied for second right now.
Yeah. Today, with Thursday round, it's kind of just everybody's getting a feel for it, and it is a difficult course. I mean, Xander Schauffele right now is 4 over, and he hit the birdie putt, so he's 3 over now. So there's a lot of people in competition.
Listen, guys, I don't expect Tiger Woods to win every single tournament. I understand. He's old and he has a bad back, and I get it. I just would like to see him under par for this tournament, and let's try to get to East Lake. That's all I want to see. And
I'll tell you, I want to see Tiger Woods.
I saw a swing he made today, and he started to look tired and it looked lazy. I think his back is hurting him.
Well, and he's played a lot of rounds than he normally does. But man, that is true. Like, I want to be realistic, but I will tell you, I'm rooting for Tiger to win every single round he's playing.
Oh, absolutely. Every time.
I
want Tiger to win.
Like, I mean, I just want him, and I want, like, hopefully, I don't know if I'll see him because I'll be at the Ryder Cup. I don't know. I didn't see if they've put together their team yet. I doubt it.
I don't think so.
So I don't know if he'll be there, but I will be also at the PGA in Kiowa next year, which I'm sure he'll play in. So I'll look forward. That'll be the first time I get to see him in person. That'll be my first actual golf tournament. That'll be the first I've ever gone to.
Oh, okay.
And it's a Sunday round. Sunday.
Are you going Sunday?
Yeah.
I might see if I can get some tickets for.
They're not expensive, dude. At least the ones because I was on like the waiting list type deal they make you do. The Ryder Cup, I have a practice round, which I'm not upset about that because that's so like more of a party type tournament. And I'm looking forward to being there more for a practice round because like I've seen videos of people like do you know who the golfer was that in a Ryder Cup they missed a putt and one of the fans was heckling him. So he put $100 on the green and had the fan make the same putt. Do you remember who that was?
Yeah, I remember that. That wasn't Patrick Reed, was it?
I don't know. For some reason, I thought it was the European side.
Maybe.
Yeah. Either way, the fan hit the putt and it was amazing. But like, I'm looking forward to that for sure.
I've only been to one golf tournament and it was the Masters.
Which I mean, can't really go up from there.
Yeah,
I want to go.
Be a letdown.
What day did you go? Was it a practice round?
Did the Wednesday practice round.
Wednesday practice, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to this year of golf because we get so many majors. Like within, I think it was 7 majors in 9 months. They said before the PGA.
Yeah.
Because we've got the Masters again in November, and then it's in March, right? Or April.
April.
I
think it's like I think it goes from March and bleeds into April or something like that.
Mm-hmm. I'm looking forward to seeing Augusta National during this time of year because it'll be a totally different.
You've never seen it in the winter month.
Yeah. Oh. So look forward to that and all of that upcoming in our next episode. And we want to thank everybody for listening. And we also want to thank Atrix Allen for creating our music. And we'll see you next time.
Yeah, guys. See you next time.